Hey, what's up? I know I've been promising this poem for a very long time, but it took me 4 days to write it, and I was supposed to put up this video yesterday for it, but I forgot, so here I am trying to make it up tonight. Um, it isn't actually the exact video. I'm trying to make a real legit editing version and all that good stuff video for you guys. So this is just me being too anticipated in hearing what you guys have to say about it. So your criticism, all the positive, negative feedback, I would love to hear about it. So you can inbox me about it, or if you're bold enough, write it here, whatever. It only makes me a better writer. And I thank you guys in advance for listening. It's very lengthy, so I sent it to a few friends, and they were able to know what I was trying to convey throughout it. So I hope that you guys will be able to do the same. If not, if you have any questions, definitely ask me. I'm not afraid to answer. So, here it goes. Exactly how to construct this memoir of attempted loves is beyond my poetic ability to justify clearly the fuck-up shit between them and me. But they weren't all fuck-ups. Some I lucked up, none were stuck up, all were tough love. Is there just love? Because my first love had me thinking there was no other love, only his love. It was naive love, shared over the course of 5 years with liters of tears, documented from the first time we broke up over the phone in a call that was supposed to go a little something like, "Hey dear, today I was molested, and I fear that I would never be able to digest it. Instead, he told me he had another girl and she was his world, and to digest this, tis tis. It had relevance to the next relationship my troubled soul would never settle in. She was my best friend, the only one to take on the whirlwind of hurt, and my barricaded heart and tainted body was in, so I found myself in what church folk would call sin. And if this was a sin, then I don't mind sinning for her, because it didn't matter. Love was my sexuality, but my morality wouldn't let me be. Eventually, her flaws wasn't my cup of tea, so she fell deeper in love, and I fell deeper in disgust with the sly ways of a man, the strength of a man, the touch of a man, and the scent of a man. But I couldn't understand, while my heart still wanted to ban her love from its land. I was in quicksand, sinking deeper into loss. My heart began to frost. Her sanity was the cost. I broke her, like my first love and offender broke me. I was in the worst degree I could ever be, completely shattering the rest of my already shattered plexiglass heart. Back to the start, my first love. After 2 years of her love, his love became a recycled love, a husband and wife love, the type of love we were too young for because we needed to grow more. It was war. All of the morals and values I had ever stood for was demolished when I looked into her eyes and fell in love for the second time. At heart, I wanted to make him mine again, but fighting for school, looking for work, taking care of my family, and rebuilding my ex-girlfriend's broken spirit could not allow me to happily give up my independence for dependence. Dinner with his family, long walks and talks, or making love that made me soft, so he got tired of waiting, started dating. Our communication was deflating, due to the fact that I had never fully recovered, only discovered that I had been living the single life in fear that I'll never get it right. All right. Despite the fear, I have attempted, said I love you and meant it, but they all ended, starting with my soft-spoken Mexican. Lovely dates, then I disappeared. I cared, but our visions went off in separate directions. He was the jealous type and thought my imperfections were perfections. These are my confessions of connections shared with beautiful people and opportunity for unity. Next came my green-eyed with curly-haired childhood crush who was older than me. An artist used to older women falling at his feet, but the circle wasn't complete until he found himself at my feet and in love with me. But somehow I couldn't be his wife when he had asked on a late-night dinner that would be our last. Guess it had something to do with my numb heart and past. Third one's a charmer. Cupid's arrow went straight through my lethal armor. My soft-skinned sunshine was a farmer, nurturing the seed she planted that I took for granted until it was too late. She had already changed our fate, looking for affection in another, before I could make the necessary correction to allow our relationship to full erection. She was one of my biggest lessons. She ran out of patience, but with time she would have been able to change my mind about getting serious. It was mysterious how her feelings could suddenly disappear, then magically reappear, but I'm sure she would deny it. Moving on with him was a perfect excuse to hide it, till it became how she really felt. And I didn't fight for how I really felt. I only dealt with the fact that I'm forced to let her go, although I just wanted to pull her close, show her the lessons she taught, give her much more than the love she brought. I now thank her through these thoughts. She is one of the few kept in my treasure box. I am now waiting for the ship to dock with my tall, dark, and handsome faraway treasure that holds me down from 20 hours away, 3 hours in the air, 2 months on foot, and 2,000 miles away. Did I mention 4 states? Yeah. We have Skype dates. My heart feels as if we could be lifelong soulmates. His poetic country tongue, mesmerizing eyes, and dimples deep enough to make the smile giggle could never result to fickle, because it didn't matter the time difference. Daytime, nighttime, anytime is our time to FaceTime, and with time, I only grow to love who he's becoming as a man, with desires to work with kids, have a family with a wife, provide, and call everything he has his. This is how we live in each other's distant lives. Communication and honesty is honestly how we've made it thus far. He sets the bar pretty high, so I could never lie when he looked me in the eye and asked about another girl or a guy. Quite frankly, I didn't realize there was another until her and I blankly looked at each other only over dinner at my favorite Chinese restaurant. I didn't want to accept feelings for a comfortably living woman who had a woman. This woman is far beyond my years of existence, but she had persistence, especially after my resistance, and her insistence carried after we spent 3 amazing days buried in each other's rare design, shared over precious time and ice cream. Then she departed, the same time my heart parted. It was too late. We had already started something that kept us dreaming, fiending, and believing that somehow our fantasy life could work itself out in real life. But in life, never is it all right to be selfish with somebody's already taken heart. But I still cried when I asked Cupid to put down the dart. I turned selflessness into a mastered art. And her woman, is who she pictures as wife, simply because she hasn't reached the pinnacles of this point in life. She's taking a little longer to reach the height already achieved by her significant other, who is currently my waiting lover. But no matter what, my guilt could not be covered, because, as said before, I discovered the mistake is not in feeling, but rather made in concealing the truth of being the fool, aware that we'd be in an affair and I wouldn't dare compare my position to hers. I learned my place when I saw their picture dedications, love letter arrangements, and the different stages of the dynamics behind their love. All this untold to my tall, dark, and handsome, long distance, awaiting his chance at a romance with me because he's in Texas getting his degree. But see, I had to tell somebody. And that somebody is my ginger, with a kick-ass soul, a seductive French tongue, a static personality with the ability to bring out my wild qualities. In a short amount of time, she was attached to my lifestyle, teamed up with my brother, loved by my mother, a good friend, attracted to me, held my body close while we slept, and even closer when I wept, but I couldn't overstep, so I prepped her for the road many failed friendships of mine traveled, but I still watched it as it unraveled. Sorry about that. She's only human with a heart, so me telling her about my possible lovers uncovered her being affected. Fear of her love being rejected kept her coasting on the safe side, but her daring quality took the risk of a joyride, so I said yes to a test drive, trying to forget the wonderful woman who had a woman while strangling my love from growing for an out-of-state man. My ginger was already a die-hard fan of all my substance, and so it began. My lessons of attempts go hand in hand. A year later, I didn't know I'd be awaiting news that would change my vision of forever. It's a boy, consumed about 5 months ago, should be born around my birthday or so, and oh, my first love is newly married. My emotions varied, being that my first love is the start of all love, so my attempted loves could never be that young love. But growth, lessons, and change has me excited for my future love, that shiny new love. Absence of boundaries in color, skin, gender, region, substance, profession, and background. I just want the sound of our hearts forever beating in each other's chests until it's time for our bodies to rest and our spirits to be blessed. And I've been blessed with the blessings listed in this memoir of attempted loves. Whew! I'm a little parched. 9 minutes? Oh my God. Sorry. It's a long, long poem, huh? Anyways, I did stumble along the way, but that will be perfected with time. I just haven't memorized it, and I have to fit the beatings still. But again, this is rough. So please just provide me with, your comments and how you felt throughout the poem and any questions and things like that. And I thank you guys for listening. It means a lot to me. Good night.